Today on Paint a Beautiful Picture, we are going to talk about we all need help. This is episode 126. Last Friday, if you missed that, that would be episode 125 when things go wrong. At one point, one of the things I told you was that we need to admit that we all need help. Lord, don't we? I mean, seriously. As I've sometimes said in the past, you will not get through life on your own. If you don't believe me, take a 10 or a 12-year-old and under a secured, safe environment, leave them on their own for 3 days, and a kid will learn really quickly they need help. They can't reach things. Even if they can live on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, they get sick of them. They really struggle with the pressures of having to handle everything. I mean, even the kid who's the most addicted person in the world to video games, after a while, they come out of their cocoon and they need somebody to be there. We really all do need help. As adults, we're just kidding ourselves if we are not willing to admit that. Honestly, if you are not growing your own groceries, slaughtering your own beef so you can have a hamburger, you don't have a bucket underneath the edge of your house that's catching water so you can take a bath, and you're not burning fire in the fireplace and living without electricity so you have candles or kerosene at night, then you can't live without help, because you have the help of people who are growing food and harvesting food and delivering food to the grocery store and putting it out on the shelf for you. You have help from the people who are growing the meat, slaughtering the meat, butchering the meat, and putting it into the grocery case for you. You need help from the people who are doing water treatment and delivering safe, clean water to your home. You are very, very dependent upon a plumber who can do the correct plumbing inside of your home so the water will come out of the faucet and go down the toilet like it's designed to do. You are dependent upon people who create electricity and deliver it safely into your house, and the electrician who wired everything there. I guess you're getting the point. We haven't even talked about your bed or your furniture or, yeah, you understand. We need help. We are dependent upon one another. That interdependence is a very healthy thing, and it is smart for us to acknowledge it. If you're 5 and you're going, I can do it myself and I don't need help, well, that's an understandable response. If you're 25 and you're still doing the I could do it myself and I don't need help, and your life is falling apart, it's not only not acceptable, it's foolish. So let's talk about that principle a minute. All through life, we need someone's help. You're going to move heavy furniture. You got to grab your roommate or grab the person next door or get your dad or your brother to come help you, or another guy that you know from the bowling alley. You can't pick up a 800-pound couch yourself and transport it. You need help. Your car breaks down in the middle of the night somewhere and it's, pouring down rain, and you don't even know where you are. And thank God we're in the day of cell phones, because when I was young, one time that happened to me and I had 2 little kids with me. Of course, cell phones didn't even exist. Boy, I needed help in the worst way, and it was a little scary. Thankfully, it was a police officer that came along and helped me. But you call for help. I don't care if AAA or a tow truck or some nice person or a police officer comes. Sometimes you really desperately need help. If you got a guy busting down your door trying to break in and hurt you, yeah, you're going to pick up that phone and call 911. You're not even going to think or flinch. You need help. Wowee. You're in school studying for exams. It's just not making any kind of sense to you whatsoever. You've been looking at it for 2 months and it still isn't making sense. You call up a friend, or you call up that kid who sits a couple aisles over from you that's getting straight A's, and you go, man, I really need some help. Okay, I hope we have that well established in your mind. Haven't even gone into the workplace, because Lance, we need help there. All right, so here's your child. And they're this independent little person, and they want to make it on their own, and they're always pushing you away, and they don't think they need help. Let me help you a little bit in, yes, that was a great pun. Anyway, in gaining some perspective for your child, give them a list, send them into the grocery store by themselves. Say, I need you to go get me these things. And if you can't find them, ask for help. I literally used to send my kids to the store for the weirdest stuff, things I knew in a million years they'd never be able to find, and say to them, "You're going to have to ask for help." Because this whole thing about guys who won't ask for any help, and we all know the joke, the guy will go 100 miles out of his way before he's going to ask someone for help. Of course, today with GPS, that's not quite as common, but girl, let me tell you, it still happens. Sorry, we do know that's the case. Guys, you can laugh about this when you're alone together, but yeah, guys are notorious for this. So my sons are guys. I wasn't going to have them grow up and be unwilling to ask anyone for help. It was amazing. I was in Michigan recently with my son and my grandsons, and my son sent my grandson into the store and he said, "Go get blank, and if you don't find it, just ask for help." My grandson was out in about 2 minutes flat. He said, "Yep, I walked in the door, I asked the guy for help, I went over there, and I got it. I would have never found it." Bingo! In my family, people know how to ask for help because we need help. You want to teach that to your children. You really do. It isn't a sign of weakness or a sign of stupidity or a sign that you're a failure because you had to ask for help. That's absurd. Actually, it's a really good thing to be strong enough and self-confident and self-assured and just say, "Yeah, I need your help." Okay, great, awesome. But believe it or not, it's not going to come easily. Certainly not going to come easily to teenagers. All right, so we're sitting there, and my grandson shared a pretty big thing with us that he needs help with. And we probably had a 20-minute discussion. What was great, it was 3 generations worth. Me as the grandmother, my son as the dad, and my grandson about possibilities, ways to handle this thing. And he said that that was a lot of help for him. Now, it's his job to implement it. We can't do it for him. We're not going to be sitting there with him in the position that he was talking about, able to handle it. He's going to have to do it. But at least he was wise enough and willing to ask for help. So say you have a teenager, 15 or 16 years old. They've started dating, and they do need help. They don't know how to navigate a lot of this. And I want to encourage you to join me this Friday for episode 130. That's going to talk to helping a teenager think about or look for a healthy mate or someone that they should be dating or involved with emotionally. Just so you know, look for that episode. But honest and really, it's a whole lot more than they can handle. They're interested in this guy, they're interested in this girl, but there are elements of this they don't even know what to do with. But they don't want to ask you for help. So who do they ask? Their friends. And their friends are just as bad at this as they are, just as awkward at all of this stuff as they are, just as, without a clue. And so you need to establish this early in your child's life. I'm not saying you can't get started at 15 or 16. Don't misunderstand me, because you definitely can. But it's far preferable to begin with them when they are very little. When you need help, you ask for help. When someone offers you help, to the best of your ability, you graciously receive their help. You acknowledge that all of us need help. You acknowledge that as a parent. Your child learns to acknowledge that as a kid, as a human being. Life is going to go so much better. This principle, it is so foundational. I cannot overemphasize it enough. And so literally you want to set up situations with your children where they need help so that they can learn to ask for help. And you literally see it depends upon the personality. You'll see some kids, they just give up after 2 seconds and go, "I need help." And with them, you have to be able to say, "I want you to keep trying for a few minutes more. I really believe that you could do more than you think you can." And so I'm going to be right here with you. I'm going to, you're not saying this to the child, but in your mind, I'm providing the security of my presence. But I'm not going to intervene too soon. You have to learn to persevere. You have to learn to try. With other kids who are hyper independent and don't want anything out of you, they'll keep going and going and going, even though they're botching it up, even though they're not getting it right, because they don't want to ask for help. And in their life, you might need to intervene and say, "I would like you to let me help you. I realize you don't want my help, but I would like you to stop and let me help you." And that child learns a little bit of humility, and that it's perfectly okay that they can't do everything on their own, and that sometimes someone who cares about them might need to intervene and get involved where they see from the outside perspective that they need help. So both of those kinds of kids don't get addressed in identical ways, but you're still helping them understand sometimes I need help. When you're dealing with a kid in late middle school, I'm going to say 12, 13, 14, depending on your schools and your child's maturity level. They want to be independent so badly. They do. They think they know so much. And yet, they got some of the most awkward, difficult years of their life ahead of them, and they don't know that yet. This is the key stage of life where you really need to get this nailed down that everyone's going to need help. And so you say to them, you can't drive a car. You need my help to get to the mall. You need my help to get to your friends. You need my help to get to the school, or you even need the bus driver's help, but you need someone's help. You need help in your educational process. You don't know everything yet. That's why you have teachers, and sometimes why you have tutors, and why you have sessions after school to help you with algebra because it's kicking you behind and you're not very good at math. You do need help educationally. You need help personally. Are you doing all of your own clothes? Are you doing all of your own grocery shopping? Are you making your own meals? Do you deal with every single thing in your life? Are you buying your clothes? Oh, do you have a job? Oh, okay, good. Well, I never need to buy your clothes again, and I certainly don't need to take you to the orthodontist. You get the picture. They're very, very dependent, though they hate it. You need to help them understand that not their dependence on all of these things, but the fact that we have an interdependent relationship. I need you to cooperate with me in our home and be a contributing member. Take out the trash, sweep the floor, wash the dishes, keep your room straight. And I'm going to contribute to your life. I'm working to buy your food. I'm buying your food. I'm preparing your food. I'm buying your clothes. I'm washing your clothes. I'm taking you everywhere you have to go. I'm providing for your life. You have electricity and a tablet. And oh my gracious, yes, you do need me. You need help with a lot of things still. But as time goes on, every 6 months or so, or maybe even every year, you're helping that child develop more and more independence. And you let them know, even when we are an independent adult, which you will be soon, still need help. I need help sometimes. I do. I can't do dry cleaning at home. I have to take my suit to the dry cleaner. I'm really thrilled that those people know what they're doing. They have a unique skill that is of great help to me, and I can depend upon them. That really helps my life go better. I depend on the people at the grocery store to have fresh and healthy foods. And I go to this specific butcher because they have organically grown, not antibiotic filled kinds of meats. And I go and I accept these people's help who are willing to raise livestock and butcher it sensibly. And they're starting to get the picture that all throughout life, there are things that we all need help with. I can't work on a car. I'm thrilled out of my mind that my mechanic can help me when something goes wrong. You're teaching everyone in your household, including yourself, how important it is to receive someone's help. Let's face it, it's awesome when you can help somebody. You see someone with a really heavy package, or you're a guy and you see a lady broken down on the side of the road, and you stop and you change her tire in 10 minutes and it wasn't a big deal to you and it means the world to her. We all understand it's a great feeling to help someone. Well, in order for that to happen, we need to be in a position where we are willing to accept someone's help. I hope this has just clarified some things for you in your thinking today, that as a very important principle in your child's life, they need to understand we all need help. Your challenge question today is, how do I do at asking for help? If you never ask for help, I guarantee you your child is not going to learn to ask for help. So, how do I do at asking for help? Please leave me your comments or suggestions, even questions. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Feel free to share it with someone else. Please join me again soon on Paint a Beautiful Picture. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.